Sometimes life doesn't give us what we desire, but offers something far more profound. Love isn't always born from blood. It is nurtured in the choices we make, the sacrifices we endure, and the courage we find in the face of loss. This is the story of a woman and a boy, strangers brought together by fate, who taught the world that even the coldest winters can birth the warmest bonds. Snow blanketed the village, muting all sounds except the mournful whistle of the wind. It was a winter night, so bitterly cold that the stars themselves seemed frozen in the sky. Inside a modest wooden cabin, a woman sat by the flickering fire, her eyes hollow with longing. She was a widow, her life marked by a void. She had no child of her own to hold, no laughter to brighten her days. Her hands, rough from years of hard work, clutched a shawl tighter around her frail shoulders as she stared into the flames, her heart aching with an unspoken prayer. If only I had someone to call my own. Suddenly, a faint sound broke through the silence. It wasn't the wind, it was a cry, a soft, desperate wail that carried an otherworldly quality. She opened the door to find, to her astonishment, a tiny child wrapped in a tattered blanket. The child's face was red from the cold, and his dark eyes glistened with tears. For a moment, she stood frozen, unsure if this was real or some cruel trick played by her imagination. But the cry was real, and so was the child. Despite searching tirelessly for the child's parents, no one came forward. The villagers whispered, their eyes narrowing with suspicion. But she silenced her doubts with a firm resolve. If the heavens have sent him to my door, then he is mine. The boy, who she named Arav, grew up in her loving care. His laughter filled the cabin that had once been silent, his small hands bringing life back to her tired heart. But there was no mistaking it. Arav was different. His features bore no resemblance to hers, and the villagers never missed a chance to remind her, "He is not your blood," they would say, their words dripping with cruelty. She would only smile, holding Arav's hand tightly and replying, "He is more mine than you will ever understand." Years passed, and Arav grew into a bright, compassionate young man. With her unflinching support, he pursued his dream of becoming a doctor. The day he graduated, he stood before her in his crisp white coat, his eyes filled with gratitude. "You gave me life, Ma," he said, his voice trembling. "Now I want to give it back to others." One evening, as they sat by the fire, Arav said softly,
Ma, I need to go to the camps. There are so many people suffering. They need me.
Her heart tightened. "Arav, the world outside is dangerous. War doesn't spare even the innocent. Stay here with me. Let others take this burden." Arav took her hands in his voice steady but tender.
Ma, you didn't raise me to turn away from those in need. You taught me to be strong, to do what is right, no matter the cost. If I don't go, I won't be able to live with myself.
Tears streamed down her face, but she nodded, her voice breaking. "Go, my son, but promise me you will be careful. Promise me you will come back." He hugged her tightly, whispering,
I promise, Ma.
At the camp, Arav worked tirelessly, treating wounds, offering comfort, and giving hope to those who had none. He became a beacon of light in a world shrouded in darkness. But one fateful day, amidst the chaos of battle, a stray bullet found its mark. Arav fell, his white coat stained red. His hands, once so full of life, lay still. When the news of Arav's death reached his mother, she felt a silence deeper than the snowbound world outside. The villagers, who had once doubted her love for Arav, gathered around her house, expecting to see her crushed under the weight of her loss. Instead, she stepped out, carrying Arav's white coat draped over her frail arms. Her voice trembled, but carried a strength that silenced the murmurs. My son is not gone. He is the rain that nurtures new life, the snow that reminds us of purity and hope. His work was not just his, it was ours. We must not let it end. The villagers, moved by her words and inspired by Arav's sacrifice, rallied together. For weeks, they worked tirelessly to transform the war-torn land into something meaningful. They built a small clinic in Arav's name, a place where no one would ever be turned away. His mother, despite her grief, became the heart of this effort. She welcomed young children, orphans, and those who had lost everything to the war into her home, nurturing them with the same love she had given Arav. One day, a young girl who had been treated at the clinic approached her. The girl handed her a sketch, a picture of Arav with his stethoscope, smiling and surrounded by flowers. Ma, the girl said, he saved my life. Because of him, I want to become a doctor too. Her eyes filled with tears, but they were the tears of pride. She placed Arav's white coat around the girl's small shoulders and said, Then wear this and promise to carry his dream forward. One fine day, the sun rose quietly over the village, its soft rays brushing against the snow-covered rooftops. Arav's mother sat in her small wooden chair, motionless. Her frail hands rested on her lap, her eyes fixed on a single object, the photo frame of Arav. His warm smile, captured forever in the picture, seemed to gaze back at her, as if they were having a conversation that only the two of them could hear. For 2 days, she hadn't moved from her spot. The fire in her heart had long since gone cold. No smoke curled from the chimney, and the usual sounds of life from her little home were absent. The villagers began to notice. Mai hasn't come out, they whispered. Anxiety grew like a storm cloud over the small village. By the 3rd day, a few of them gathered at her door. Mai, are you there? They knocked gently at first, their voices concerned but hesitant. Inside, she sat still, her face devoid of expression, but her eyes glistening. Locked onto Arv's photo. The knocking grew louder. My, it's us! Can you hear us? Please open the door. Still, there was no response. The urgency in their voices rose, and the knocks turned into desperate pounding. My, please say something! Let us in! But inside the house, the only sound was silence. She remained frozen in her chair, her gaze unwavering as if she could see beyond the photograph, as if Ara was there sitting before her, his kind eyes meeting hers. Her lips moved ever so slightly, as though speaking to him, but no words escaped. In that stillness, she seemed to have crossed a bridge to a place where no one could follow, a place where only memories and love could exist. The villagers continued to call out their pleas, mixing with the cold wind that howled through the cracks in the door. Yet she didn't hear them. Perhaps at that moment she had already gone to Arav, to the world where he waited for her. Or perhaps she simply chose to stay in that unspoken space between life and eternity, where grief and love become one. And as the village's frantic knocks echoed through the snowy morning, she sat unshaken, lost in the only thing that had ever mattered, her son's smile, captured forever in the frame before her. They say some bonds are so powerful that even death cannot sever them. Araf's mother had lived for him, and in her silence she found her way back to him. The house remained quiet. The snow fell gently, and her story became a whisper in the hearts of villagers. A reminder that love, though fragile, endures beyond time and space.